Hello. Let's see. Take three. This is take three of my first YouTube live that may or may not forever appear on the internet. On the internet. I thought I had an idea. I've been having these ideas and I thought I would just hop on and share them with whoever might want to watch this at some time, at some point. Um, this week I've learned so much and I've been feeling really um, inspired, and like I've gotten a lot more clarity about different ways to help people learn, work on their English. And part of my perspective comes as being somebody who enjoys creating. And many of the people I work with also enjoy creating. But we also have something else in common, which is that we are often very hard on ourselves. And we also, some of us, I should just speak for myself, but I do notice this in a lot of the people I work with as a coach and a teacher of English. One of the things that we struggle with is many of us are creative people. We like to create. We like to we see language as a tool, whether we recognize it as such or not. We see language as a tool that we enjoy using. Maybe just in our native language, mostly just in our native language, but also in English. And yet we've been told by many people, by teachers, by YouTube, by all of the places that we connect, like so many places, we're told that our English isn't good enough. We're encouraged to believe that our English isn't good enough to be able to, like, is not good enough for us to do the thing that we wanna do. So let's say, for example, that I want to in my Spanish, let's use Spanish. Spanish is the equivalent for me. So I have Spanish, I've reached a certain level. And if I were to decide that I wanted to do a video, start doing videos in Spanish, for example, podría empezar a hablar en español. De repente, estoy hablando en español. ¿Puedo? ¿Está permitido? Debería empezar a hablar un poco más. Bueno, sorry, so this is not going to be a video in Spanish, but I could, right? I'm capable of doing that. How good do I have to be before I feel ready to do that? Who's going to decide that my English, my Spanish is good enough for me to start making videos in Spanish? I know that it would be helpful if I do so, because there are some people that I work with who would much rather listen to a video in Spanish about language learning once in a while than to have to always be listening in English because it takes more effort. Or perhaps it would allow me to reach a different audience who's not able to understand my English yet, but still might want to work with me. And or perhaps it's a way for me to walk the talk and prove that as a teacher, I'm also a learner, and I also want to do the things that I suggest my students do. And one of the things that I suggest students do is speak up and out loud, whether to themselves, like I'm doing right now, or by writing, but using this language as the tool that it is without being in a conversation, removing the feedback. Because this was one of the ways I learned English. I got really lucky, and I like many people who teach something, they teach the thing because they've learned to love the thing because they were taught it in a way that worked for them. And the way that I was taught English is a way that I also can help certain people with in this way. Like it's not a way that's good for everybody, but it's a way that's good for people who are like me, who want to work on their English. And it's a way that I want to use to work on my Spanish. And one of the ways I can do that is I could start to show you all how my Spanish is now, and then I could work on it, and then you could see how it is in the future. Or I could just use it to create a thing. And by using it to create a thing, I have to watch what I said. I will see what mistakes I'm making. I'll be able to fix things. I will make observations. I will see what words. Okay. So I will learn a lot. And that will only be possible if I make the thing. If I open my mouth and create the thing. And if I can use something that records me and allows me to listen back to it, it's even more valuable than talking to somebody else. What happens is when I become the audience of what I create, judgment seeps in just as it does when somebody I'm talking to starts to listen to me. And that's funny because somebody just came into this YouTube live and I don't even know how to see them. Top chat. How do you know who's here? Live chat. Somebody's here. I don't know. This is my first thing. Okay, right? So suddenly we have the observer. And the observer in this case is me, or maybe there's somebody here. No, they left. Okay. But maybe in the future. Okay. When we're talking to somebody in our target language, if when I'm talking to somebody in Spanish or when you're talking to somebody in English, they're looking at you like this. Maybe it's because they need glasses or they're not understanding something you said or they're thinking about something else. They're giving you feedback with their faces, if you can see their faces, and you don't always know what it means. Maybe they're impatient in that moment. Maybe they're doing something else. Maybe they're distracted. All of these things play a role in how you feel your language production is. So you can take that out and instead have that person observing be you. The problem is you bring along all of those same judgments. And sometimes we are our biggest critics. So when we listen to what we put out there, we have to do so with a lot of love and empathy and kindness. And that's what this YouTube live thing is. This YouTube live thing is kind of funny because it's like right now I'm broadcasting live. Anybody who catches me can see this, but I have the ability to take it down afterward. So to know whether I want to take it down or not, I'll have to watch it. And then will I watch it with the eyes of somebody, right? What kind of will I watch it with eyes of curiosity or will I watch it with eyes of criticism? But if I do that, first of all, if I speak, you have something to listen to. So instead of keeping these things to myself, keeping these creations to myself, I can put them out there and somebody else has something to hear. And maybe by doing so in a little bit of a brave, vulnerable way, somebody else will get inspired to do something a little bit brave and vulnerable and take some sort of creative risk. Because speaking up in a foreign language or speaking up in publicly, unscripted, or just sort of performing in this way, there is a bit of a creative risk, right? There is the chance for other people to judge us. And if we are hard on ourselves, like I am, like many of the people I work with are, we imagine that people are going to be judging us harshly when in fact it's we or us who are the biggest critics of what we create, and that other people really just do not care. And in fact, when they have something negative to say, it often or always has to do with them and not us. So that's the piece I wanted to bring up today. And I don't know if anybody will join us. I let some people know that I'm doing this. And some people are headed out to the countryside. That's awesome. I've never done this before, but I thought I would just try, because that's the other thing is that if I don't figure out how to try, then I won't if I don't try, then I'll never do it again because I never tried. So that was one topic I thought of talking about. The other one is another idea, and well, I don't even know if I made that topic kind of that didn't really make sense. It's funny how performance changes. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to say before I came on here, and then as soon as I came on, it kind of all went out the window. I even wrote it down, and I don't even understand what I wrote. But this is why people just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. I mean, I could show up every week at 3 p.m. in Argentina on Fridays, and we could just talk in English. We could just do this, you know? Yeah, it's interesting. Um, um, um. So this is a YouTube Live. I could do work or something, right? People just do, you know, you want to see my rocks? It's like show and tell. I'm like 5 years old. These are my rocks from Bariloche. Waiting. Anybody want to come? Ah. Somebody had a question for me. I'm always telling people to talk more slowly. And somebody had a question for me the other day about why that is and why talking slowly is something I'm always emphasizing. Um, and oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm often telling people to talk more slowly, and often people want to talk more quickly, so they get annoyed by that feedback, or they don't like it, or they don't want to believe that it would be helpful. And so I thought I would just explain a little bit about why I think slowing our English down can really help us speed up the improvement of our English. Um, and the reasons for this are, I think there's something pretty logical about it because it's not that different from the way things are when we want to improve a lot of different things. If I want to improve my chopping skills or my driving skills, the one of the first things I need to try doing is slowing down the speed at which I'm doing the thing to improve my ability to articulate the words that are coming out of my mouth. If I slow down the process, I'm able to think about more things at the same time and potentially be able to improve while I'm practicing. If I'm speaking so fast that you can't even understand what I'm saying, I do need to pause so that I can think about what I'm going to say next. But if instead I simply speak more slowly, I will have the time to choose my words more carefully and to articulate them and enunciate them more clearly. I even have time to think about what the right word actually should have been. Was it enunciate? Was it articulate? Did I use the right preposition? But it's done. It happened. I recorded it. I could edit that out if I wanted to, right? So speaking slowly has many benefits. The other thing that's great about speaking slowly is it gets me to slow down. And I would argue that there are very few people out there who who can convince who can be convinced who could convince me or who could be anybody who can convince me that we need to speed up in this day and age. Try to convince me. Try to convince me that we need to speed up. I don't think you're gonna have an easy time. Sorry that I'm fixing my hair. You're allowed to do that. Does anybody wanna try to convince me? Oh, somebody's there! Is that Ivan from the Balkans? My former student. Shoot, is that too much information? No. Ivan from the Balkans, my former student. There are plenty of Ivans. Are you I do. You're This is my first YouTube live, and there's somebody are you the one who well, how do I'm not gonna I've had a few Ivan students from the Balkans, but I think you were in a group. And I wait, but you don't do this in a YouTube live. I've never done a YouTube live before. I've never had a guest before. Do you have a question? I think I do remember you. I know I remember you if you're the person I think you are. And you were always in a kitchen and you like football. Is that you? Yes. The World Cup is coming up. I put it in my agenda last night. Did you guys qualify? Yeah. Hi, Ivan. This is my first YouTube live ever. Ever, ever, ever. This is so cool. Wow. Did you guys qualify? You did qualify. Okay. I didn't notice. I just wrote down Argentina's game times. Didn't you just accidentally saw it, or the universe needed you to see? So you're texting me. Everybody will see the text. This is my first YouTube live ever. What can I what can I answer? What kind of question? I was talking about Kubi. How's your English going? What's going on with your English? We can get in touch after directly, but while you're here, thank you for joining on this first YouTube live. What can I help you with? What's been a challenge that you're having with English these days? What's been good? What's going well? What's been working? Because we can't talk about soccer or football because people are gonna get mad at us. I live in Argentina and we're the best. No. I'm speaking very quickly. I was just saying that I was giving examples of why we should speak more slowly. And I haven't done one of these videos in so long. And I just thought I would jump on. So this is how it goes. Let's imagine Ivan's thinking of his question. Is he thinking of his question, or he's already bored? I've lost him. Ah, so he says, I don't know. I haven't been learning it since I left the academy, which is where we met. Well, it looks pretty good. Your English looks pretty darn good. Excuse my French. Let's see. What could I talk about? I was talking about why talking slow is important. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. But I think it's an important thing. I think people in the Balkans, I used to work for an academy in the Balkans, they spoke more slowly than my Spanish speaking students speak. So Ivan and people from that academy didn't have this this challenge that a lot of Spanish speakers struggle with. It's a real challenge. And it's a challenge for me as a Spanish learner and as an English speaker because I speak really quickly. Okay. Fantastic. Still going good. All right. So what should we talk about? I was going to talk about something else. So I'm learning. This is an experiment, creating out loud. It's just funny. Thanks for joining me, Ivan. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'll do more of these. Maybe. I don't know. It's like it's kind of weird. Like you can't say anything. I want to like invite you in and get to, bring you onto the screen. I guess you can do that on some platforms, no? Okay. So I got to share this. I'll share this other idea that I had. So this week I've been thinking about different ideas for how to help people when they're feeling a little bit stuck. One of them was thinking of a goal. And I have a goal, and I hate goals, but I have this goal of putting videos out there in Spanish because I need a goal to work on my Spanish, because I don't have to work on my Spanish because I get to practice Spanish every day and my Spanish is good enough, but I needed a goal. And then I found this goal. It just came to me because I was in a class and the student had a similar desire. And then suddenly, oh, I have a goal. So now that I have a goal, I've been listening to more videos in Spanish. I've been writing more, doing all the things that I know I should do that I hadn't been doing. Now I'm doing them because I know what I want. It gives me a compass. It points me in a direction. I know where to go because there were too many choices. I should be reading. And I wasn't doing anything in Spanish. So I think the importance of goals, I have mixed feelings about goals, but I think sometimes they're more important than I want to admit, than I like to admit. And I think maybe one of the reasons I don't appreciate how important they are is because I don't remember to celebrate. I don't remember to celebrate my wins. I don't give myself credit for having done something well. And so it's like I'm always just moving the goalpost. Speaking of soccer, Yvonne, I see your comment. Sorry, I'm bad at reading and talking at the same time. It's too easy, right? See? We don't realize how good our English is. We don't realize how good our Spanish is until we have proof. So we have this goal and I'm heading in that direction, but now I need proof. I need proof that things are improving. I need to see somebody talking online who I haven't heard in 2 years, and I go, oh my gosh, I can understand her just as well as I did 2 years ago, and I haven't been using my English. Oh wait, maybe I have been. Okay, so we think of this goal. My goal is to put out videos in Spanish. I don't think my Spanish is good enough, but I'm going to work on it until I feel like it's good enough, and then I'll put some videos out in Spanish. Okay. What is my invitation to all of you? And Yvonne, you are included in this invitation. My invitation to all my students, to my former students, to the people I've been working with. If you want to try being interviewed by me, appearing on this channel that nobody's really watching, one person, two, that I haven't been active using for 2 years. If you want to be interviewed by me, you get to prepare your questions. You get to tell me what we're going to talk about. Like we'll prepare for it, and then you can be on the call. And I can interview you, and then you can decide whether you're okay with it being uploaded. And that can be your goal. Whether or not you email me and say, hey, Molly, I'm ready to be on your podcast. Can you interview me? Whether or not you send that email, because there's somebody whose podcast I want to be on in Spanish. Will I send him the email? It doesn't matter. I'm working on the goal. Okay. So that's planting the seed. If you want to choose that as one of your goals, you are all welcome to be guests on my podcast. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this other idea that I've had recently, which is, how can we use these negative emotions that we all have? Some of us have more than we want. Some of us have more these days. How can we use these negative emotions, these emotions we want to transform? How can we use the emotions we want to transform and turn them into opportunities to work on our English? The other day, I realized that I was feeling angry a lot. There's a shocker. Sometimes we go through phases where we have a lot of anger, or we have a lot of sadness, or we have a lot of frustration, or we have a lot of melancholy feelings of just despair or grief. Okay. So I was listening to a podcast, and they said, what do you do when you get angry? Well, luckily my former partner doesn't have to be blamed for my bad mood anymore. Bless him. Like when you don't have anybody to blame, because sometimes we do that, and you lash out at somebody and you take it out on somebody else. When you don't have anybody around to do that with, what do you do? So what I have been doing since I've been on my own is I walk. I walk. But when I've done walking, what do? I sometimes buy peanuts and peanut butter, and I eat peanuts and peanut butter. And if you have a phase of 2 weeks where you've been angry every day because a new war started, for whatever reason, you can have a serious change in your body. Suddenly, you look like a chipmunk. Right? Okay. And then I realized, so I thought, okay, oh my God. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. What do you do when you get angry? I eat peanuts. I eat peanut butter. It's terrible. And then I thought, what do I want to do when I get angry? I want to dance. Now, can you imagine the transformation and to realize how things could change if I took 5 minutes eating peanut butter every day or peanuts and instead danced? Like, can you see how much my body would change, how much my mind would change, how much all it takes is 5 minutes. Put on a song and dance. So that was a big realization for me. Just this simple question of what do you do when you get angry? And here's another thing I could do is I could write. I tend to write when I'm confused or sad. I also have a daily writing practice, but it's not my go-to thing when I have negative emotions. But I've never tried writing in Spanish when I feel X, Y, and Z. So the suggestion is if you ever have a feeling that you don't want to have, but you have it, and perhaps you tend to eat popcorn like I used to, or you do things that are not very healthy, what if you can use this negative emotion or this emotion you don't want to have to be the fuel that feeds the fire that gives you the energy to create, to make a video, to write something down, to create a YouTube channel that nobody watches in your target language, to get on a YouTube live, whatever. I mean, that's not the case with this in this moment, but what's something you can do when you feel in a way that you don't want to feel? And can you use English in that moment? Can you listen to songs in English? Can you write in English? And then another question, this leads to another question which is, how do you want to feel? What do you want to feel? Okay, I want to feel more calm. Okay. So can I listen to songs that calm me down in English? Can I read something that calms me down in English? And we have these choices now because we used to have to just consume. There weren't all these different ways to consume English if we weren't in an English speaking country. So when we were abroad, we had to just read the news. We had to, and now we can consume whatever we want. So one of my students who works in IT suggested this to me. If you don't know, so now that I decided that I want to work on my Spanish, I know what kind of videos I like in English on YouTube. And so, but I don't know any YouTubers in Spanish, really. So I put into Gemini, because it's with YouTube, so it works better than ChatGPT or whatever. And you put in and I said specifically Argentinian YouTubers in Argentina that are like these YouTubers in English, and it gave me some suggestions. So, finding tools that you can use to dig yourself out of the hole you found yourself in emotionally, or to, build the paintbrush that you need to paint the thing you want to paint and transform the sadness and transform the pain. And if you don't know what the tool is, because like if you want to consume something and you don't know, you can ask AI, good old AI. All right. I think that that's where I will end this YouTube live. Yvonne, I'm so happy to see you. And I want to do this again. So I hope maybe this is a decent time, Friday evening for people in Europe. I don't know. Thank you for joining, Yvonne, and good to see you again. And I did it. I made a thing, and you got to listen to English for a little while. And I will do this again because that was kind of fun. Bye.